Hello again, welcome back, and my name is Mark Wells, and today we're going to look at FES Flower Essences that are particularly useful and beneficial for people who are having difficulty in conceiving, but also will incorporate essences that will be useful in situations around IVF related issues. I should preempt this discussion with how I've used things in my own practice for this subject matter. Over the years, over 35 years of private practice, I've helped women that are having difficulty in conceiving. We won't talk about the males so much today, that's another aspect, but it's obviously involved. I've helped a lot of women who are having difficulty conceiving and they're just going to try a natural approach. I've had a number of women that were already on an IVF program, and we were just helping with some of the, the side, there's quite a few, the side issues there, but also keeping in the back of mind where, conceiving is the main aim. And thirdly, people that have been on the IVF program unsuccessfully and are now looking at a way of getting the system back into balance, but also looking perhaps at that, seeing what we can do on the natural side. And I would say over the years, flower essences have played a huge part of helping quite a number of women over the years to conceive. And if I had some of those people here, they would say that they recognised how important and how influential flower essences were with them conceiving. And of course we're talking about people that haven't got any major physical impediment to conception. So the first thing I'd like to look at, which I found with many women, is and it's understandable, is the way people try so hard, they get stressed over it. They're, the longer things go without conceiving, things become less spontaneous. It's just they're trying too hard. They're going through that, and of course, once they get in the IVF program, it even becomes more clinical in this approach, and sometimes you can lose the whole natural flow of things. And one of the I should also talk about how back in the up to the 1940s and 1950s, people would try unsuccessfully to have a child, and they'd adopt one, and the number of mothers that actually conceived soon after without trying is quite significant, and they do put that down to the fact that it was relaxed. They didn't have to try so hard. They were more relaxed, and things happen. And I think this is the thing. You've got to allow things to happen. You've got to allow Mother Nature, if you like, to work its way. And Dandelion is one of the remedies that I've used quite a bit when you have this pattern with people just trying so hard. And it's often people who have been very, very skillful and have great ability to get things done in life. And everything's worked well. They've followed their program, they've done all the right research, they've done, been able to achieve things. But this is different. You can't, there's no recipe for this. They can just do this, and you'll automatically conceive. And for those people, they can try too hard, and it can become almost an intellectual exercise. And the spontaneity goes, and as I say, if they're on the IVF program, that can actually accentuate that clinical sort of approach. So Dandelion's to help people relax, let things be to an extent. With that, do the obvious things, know when you're most fertile, and things like that. But in respect, just allow that spontaneity and naturalness to occur. Zinnia is another one. Zinnia is when, for anything, we're taking things too seriously. I'm not at all saying it's not important to that person that they have a child. Of course it is. But Zinnia is saying, look, life is what it is. Just, chill a bit, relax, allow things to be. Nothing's that seriously important. And that sort of attitude allows things to happen. And Zinnia will help that. So both Zinnia and Dandelion allow a lot of nervous tension to be let out, to be more relaxed, to be more chilled in their approach to becoming pregnant. Another aspect I've found that comes up, it's the belief in self, belief in your own body. Some people, it might be because of previous ill health, it might be because of previous menstrual issues, etc., etc. Or it might be just that person's relationship with their own body. Manzanita is a beautiful remedy, and I always think it's about body image, self-image, and we know in Western society what that is for women, and it can be a difficult issue, but it's such a lovely remedy. It's challenging such a big issue, but it's such a nice one to take. In fact, Manzanita is a remedy for all aspects of pregnancy. So you can look in the mirror when you're 8 months pregnant and see the absolute beauty of that, and not think, oh my God, I'm going to have all these stretch marks. It's about seeing your body as the temple for the spirit, and that goes in through even birth and even to breastfeeding, all of those things, to feel comfortable with your body and all the changes it goes through, and just see that as a natural, beautiful event. But Manzanita comes back, as I said, just that faith in your own body, you can do it, and belief that it's there, the innate potential is there. Another one that comes up for women sometimes when they're sort of trying, but if there's one part of them going, am I really ready for this? I haven't really been able to look after myself well, let alone someone else. And Fairy Lantern is a great remedy in those circumstances. It's just helping people take responsibility for adulthood and for womanhood, and just the extra responsibility that will be there, looking after someone else. But just the belief that you can do that, for feeling a sense that I'm ready for the new responsibilities when you're having a few doubts there. And there's another aspect to that, am I ready, in the sense that I don't get that clucky, I've heard, so, with babies and things, and we're going to have a baby, but am I going to be a good mother? How am I going to mother? Is it going to come easy to me? Or my mum wasn't very good at mothering, and all of these things come up. Mariposa Lily is about everything regards mothering, and it will help bring out that potential if it's finding difficulty in expressing itself. But Mariposa Lily, and it also heals that potential lack of mothering that you may have got. We just an aside issue that we talk about. A lot of fathers don't know how to father because they weren't fathered very well themselves, and they've had to relearn, particularly in my son's generation. No, well, he had a good father, but the generations are getting better at it. And sunflower is an excellent one then to help men when they're having difficulty, getting that sort of paternal natural instinct going. So Mariposa Lily is certainly about the maternal natural instinct. Another one, is it the right time? And again, this is a particularly important generational one now. The balance between career, ambition, creativity in your career, your profession, your vocation, and creativity at home, the procreation, having family. And it's always a bit of a juggling act. And some people, they maybe say, okay, we're going to have a baby, but in themselves they're thinking, my career's just taking it. There's all these sort of things going on. Pomegranate is a wonderful remedy that addresses this issue, and it's going to help you gain proper perspective. None of these force you into a yes or no flower essences, but they will help your perspective on it, and you will gain a better perspective. And pomegranate one of the signatures of the plant is the fact that it is, if you open a pomegranate, which we all see, it's highly compartmentalized. And that's one of the things that the gifts it gives to people when they have it. They're able to compartmentalize and make each thing work if need be. So for a mother in these days, and you know, thankfully things are changing. Partners now, and typically the husband, you know, are more involved. It's taking its time, but there is a change there. So, you know, the decision can be a little bit easier where there's shared workload. But there's still huge things about, you know, for a woman, where is my, you know, creative flow going to be better expressed at this time in my life, and pomegranate's going to help that person gain a better perspective and make the right decisions for them. And just finally, and I use this remedy a lot, and I say the same old joke, I shouldn't forget this, and it's forget me not. But forget me not is also always good about, you know, making sure you're on the right path, remembering, you know, am I on the right path? Is this the right way to go? So just a little anecdotal thing from practice, actually, going back to the pomegranate, which I always find a little bit amusing, and they've since had a family. But I remember a couple that I've treated them, and I've treated their kids, and they're grown up, coming to me and knowing they had just started a business together and they weren't sure whether they should start a family. And anyway, this can apply to the male too, but they both took pomegranate. And what they decided to do, no, it's not ready, we'll invest more time into the business and we'll put it off for a few years. And they bought a Northumberland dog. And I think that requires more looking after than almost a little baby. But anyway, that was their decision, and they started their family a little bit later. But pomegranate enabled them to get that, you know, to gain a better perspective to make those decisions. Okay, I hope that helps a bit. Thank you.